of you that are unaware, Leah and I are Russian agents. We've been to Russia, so that automatically makes us Russian agents. We have an uncle who started Procter & Gamble, I don't mind calling it out there, in Russia in the early 90s. He married his interpreter. I have a Russian cousin, so pretty much we are Russian operatives. So for those of you that are questioning whether Donald Trump Jr. is collaborating with the Russians, I think it's true, because I know. I'm an insider. I know these things. We all know these things. It's July 11th, 2017. Leah, let's tell them what happened recently.
All right, so somehow this crazy story broke, and New York Times said it has three witnesses to an email sent to Donald Trump Jr. that he is colluding with the Russians. Now, we're going to get to the bottom of this. New York Times has neither seen nor read this Russian email.
But they know it exists.
Right. The New York Times reports Monday evening that Donald Trump Jr. was informed through an email that the information on Hillary Clinton that a Russian lawyer had offered to provide was part of a Russian government effort to aid his father's candidacy. The actual lawyer is a woman, and she came out and said over here, denies any Kremlin links or that she was going to leak Clinton info. Okay, so basically kind of what happened was there was this tabloid guy who got in touch with Donald Trump Jr. and said that this woman had some information on Hillary Clinton's campaign. Now, raise your hand, and Donald Trump Jr. tweeted out, I guess I'm the only one who tried to get dirt on another person's campaign, right? Because the Clintons had nothing to do with the leaked NBC Trump thing. This Russian lawyer who met with Donald Trump Jr. last year has denied claims that she is actually linked to the Kremlin, so they're printing out more fake news, right? In an interview published Tuesday, and said she didn't meet with him to hand over information about the Clinton campaign, pouring cold water on the latest attempts to tie the Trump campaign to an alleged Russian conspiracy. The New York Times, fake news, has run multiple stories of recent days reporting on a meeting that occurred during the presidential campaign between President Trump's son and Natalia Veselinskaya. The Times reported Sunday that Donald Trump Jr. took the meeting in the belief that the participants may have compromising information on Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton. Trump Jr. joked Monday that he was the first person on a campaign to ever take a meeting to hear info on an opponent. The Times reported Monday that Trump Jr. was informed in an email that the potential information was part of a Russian effort to aid the campaign. It did not publish the email, which was only described to the Times reporters. The Times refers to Veselinskaya as a Kremlin-connected Russian lawyer, but in an interview with NBC News, she denied any such connection and said she only works to challenge the Magnitsky Act, and this has had to do with Russian adoption. The Times has reported that the meeting merely discussed the Magnitsky Act, which imposed sanctions on Russian officials linked to human rights abuses. I thought it was adoption. That was the first thing I read, actually, but I guess it's linked to human rights abuses. Oh yeah, Russian President Vladimir Putin responded by banning adoption of Russian children by prospective American parents. Yeah, that has to do with, they were worried about human rights trafficking. So anyway, she says, I never had any damaging or sensitive information about Hillary Clinton. It was never my intention to have that. It is quite possible that maybe they were longing for such information. They wanted so badly that they could hear the thought that they wanted, but I'm pretty sure that the whoever the tabloid guy was that got them together, probably. She says the meeting only lasts like 20-30 minutes, which corroborates the Trump Jr. tweet, which says he was asked to have a meeting with acquaintance he knew from the 2013 Miss Universe pageant with an individual who I was told might have information helpful to the campaign. She was not told her name prior to the meeting, and Jared and Paul Manafort went, and I'm not saying that those people are awesome, Jared and Paul Manafort, but she says that they were on their phone, disinterested the whole time. However, it just, this whole New York Times thing and everybody trying to get another link is spreading more fake news, and it really smells of the what they accuse right-wing people of.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'm quite sure at this point, if they were to have Russian salad dressing for dinner, they would be seen as Russian sympathists.
So in May, it reported that Trump had referred to former FBI Director James Comey as a nut job in a meeting with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, citing a document summarizing the meeting that it did not actually read or have possession of, right? But which was read selectively to the Times by a, quote, American official. Last month, Comey told Congress on a February 14 article by the Times alleging Trump associates had repeated contacts with senior Russian intelligence officials in the year before the election was, in the main, untrue. That article at least cited 4 current and former American officials. Monday's article only cites 3 people. The point is that we've got the 17 agencies, and then they kind of like, well, it wasn't 17, maybe it's 3, maybe it's 4. This is fake news being pushed. To me, it really, the story here is the New York Times, CNN, MSNBC, this left-wing propaganda machine is working overtime. They are the opposition to the people. They are literally the opposition to the people. They're the arm of George Soros and Clintons and Barack Obama. They realize that if they
throw enough darts at the dartboard, they will stick. And it doesn't matter if they're false darts. This is a false dart that a lot of people are going to open up, and they're going to be like, oh yeah, you know, because so many people still believe the Trump-Russia thing. I don't understand how they can, when you have people like Comey even coming out and saying there's nothing. It's nothing. Even the Project Veritas has their own reporters at CNN saying it's a nothing burger. I don't understand. So they keep trying to rehash. There's got to be something else that we can dig up. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Hashtag fake news.
There you go. All right, this is Leah Michelle signing off for Resistance Chicks, where it's not a conspiracy theory if it's the truth. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Mass Faith 3 and Resistance Chicks. Ring that bell for notifications. Find us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. We love you guys. God loves you, and God bless.
I was cold all alone. No place for home every day. So afraid, but you called my name.